Bah.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue, family. Let's continue. Let me see. The family's in. The family's in. Cool. I'm just getting pure messages just flying out, man. Everybody's just talking. What I want to do is give myself some time. So if you guys would like to open up your mic, somebody open up your mic first, and let's get it in.
Yeah. I would like to say, just before someone says something, I'd like to say, yeah, some of the work here, I'm not going to lie. I'd like to give a shout out, even if he does watch it or not, to KT Arch Degree, because he's one of the guys, man, that got me most into this stuff, man, dealing with finding most of that information. Even though I went about obviously looking films myself, but he was one of the first guys that I watched dealing with the whole showing the subliminal messages and the connections and the meanings, actually dealing with these films and how they portray the films and stuff like that. So KT, the Arch Degree, I think he was here as well. He did a presentation as well with my brother Terry Riggs, Black House TV. So yeah, man, KT, the Arch Degree, big up, big up.
All right, that's real. That's real. So yeah, I've opened up the chat. So if anybody would like to actually come on, let me know. And shout outs to Black House TV all day long, man, all day long. That's like our cousins right there. You know, that's our cousins. That's the big cousins right there. So shout outs to Black House TV. So yeah, I'm gonna post out the link again into the chat section. So if you would like to come and join us and have a little talk with us, come pass through. Come pass through. So what I'm gonna ask you guys to do, anybody in the chat room who would like to speak, just unmute your mic, give me a signal to let me know that you would like to speak. All right, so I'll go number 1, Parvinder.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Peace, family.
Yeah, I'm Gabs. I will relate. Great pitch of what you've done, a great piece of research you've done. I always relate to these kind of things to like the 3 stages of truth. You know, your first stage is to ridicule it, second stage is opposition, and the third stage is self-evident. You can't deny it. And do you feel like all these subliminal messages are still in that someone's trying to, with an agenda, to ridicule the information, to make it, if anyone comes out with it or anyone comes with a book or documentary, the instant thing is to laugh at it?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, my bro. I love that, man. Peace to you as well, man. Yeah, 100%. This is the thing. It's even hard for people to even try to come up with it because most of us people don't really even deal with these ancient cultures. We don't have the tools to deal with it. So most of us wouldn't even know. But obviously they deal with this stuff because remember, this is artifacts and stuff that they dig up and that they find. So they've had time to research this. So what they do is when they get these stories and stuff, they pull it in your face and they wait to see if people actually, do you know what I mean? They wait to see people budging at if people actually realize what's going on. Do you know what I mean? To see if the agenda is still working. Because think about it, if all of us, like I just brought this presentation, if loads of people worldwide understood, was in the same thought process that I have with this presentation, understanding the symbols, a load of people talking, saying, hey, you got these stories from here, from so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that you don't get some people doing it now, but it's not a lot. It's very few. Do you see what I'm saying? But the majority of the masses just don't know. They don't know because remember, the third eye's been shut and they don't really deal with research and they don't know where to look to find these stories. Because, you know what I mean? A majority of us were dealing with religion and belief. And we're still trying to get over the whole belief. And there's God and there's Jesus and all this stuff before we can even get into these stories. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, yeah, there is an agenda. The agenda is to check to see that the sickness is still out there, to make sure that the masses are still sick and that they're not aware. So each time they bring out these films just to check to see if the masses are still sick. Do you know what I mean? And see if they're getting that medicine and that healing. But obviously, they know that obviously some of us are still under the sickness spell. But I will say some of us now slightly are starting to come aware to it now. And this is why I want to bring out this information, to bring awareness to people so people can see this type of information. Do you know what I mean? And see, and anytime films and stuff come out, you like, oh, okay, I check that, I see that, I know. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was a good question, my bro.
So who's next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I'll go next. Now, I won't lie. I was in and out of the presentation, so I didn't see most of it. But to me personally, it felt like you were reaching a little bit there, Gabs. Felt like you were reaching. I mean, the one thing I do know about entertainment industry is that most people are primed. So the colors you see there, those are just colors they use to prime people. They stick to the same. They stick to the same formula. So if you listen to music, it's like I mentioned in the chat, the Amen drum break. Amen drum break's been used for so many different soundtracks. Even drum and bass is based on Amen drum beats. So sometimes you hear a song that you've never heard before, but somehow you can follow the tune because you've actually heard it. You just don't realize you've heard it. So for me, I felt there was a little bit of reaching in some of what you were saying, but I see where you're coming from.
I hear that. Now, fair play to that. I understand your point. I hear that, but one thing I was gonna say to you is this: where's the biggest place for movies in America? Where do people go? If you want to be a movie, if you want to make it and be a big actor or actress, where do you go?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Okay, now Hollywood. Okay, Hollywood. And Hollywood is run by who?
Well, some people say
You know who Hollywood's run by?
I'll say some people say it's run by.
Okay, it's run by the Jews. Okay, now one thing you got to realize, yeah, those Jews and these people, some of the Jews that run Hollywood are also a part of the Masonic order. And you have Walt Disney. You know this. Some of the directors that we know, big directors, are Masons, and we know this. Now, when they're dealing with Masonry, what are the signs and symbols that they have in Masonry? Do you know?
Well, you've got the pyramid, you've got the all-seeing eye, you've got the Mason's hammer, you've got the set square, triangle.
Okay. So basically, and them symbols that you said, the eye, which I just explained to you, and the pyramids and stuff. What culture does that come from?
Well, the eye is usually referenced to Egypt, and pyramids are usually referenced to Egypt. But in qualifying that, pyramids are not unique in Egypt. Pyramids are all over the place.
I heard that. But when you're dealing with Masons, when you're dealing with the Masonic order, when you're dealing with Freemasonry and all that stuff, the symbols, the majority of the symbols that they have, and they tell you this, it's all depicting ancient Egyptian stuff. It's ancient Egyptian. It's coming from ancient Egyptian culture. They're not dealing with the Aztecs, and they're not dealing with the other pyramids in China or Peru. You know what I mean? It's dealing with ancient Egyptian culture. Now let's just backtrack that now. So we're dealing with Hollywood. Majority of the people in Hollywood and in Walt Disney that deal with cartoon are Masons. Masons are dealing with ancient Egyptian culture because that's what's in Masonry. And this is all coming back to them understanding the ancient Egyptian stories and their culture. So then now, for you to then say now to me that I'm reaching, yeah, when I'm showing that it's all to do with ancient Egyptian culture and the eyes and everything to do with ancient Egyptian culture, which they put in the films and in the cartoons and all these programs. To me now, would you say that I'm reaching, or would you say that follows the train? That follows the chain all the way straight to Egypt? Do you know what I mean? So you can see that that's where they would have got the ideas and their things from, because they deal with that culture. Nobody can't say they don't deal with it. Look at Washington, D.C., full of ancient Egyptian cultures, symbolism. Look at Hollywood, filled of ancient Egyptian symbolism. Look at Vegas, filled with Egyptian symbolism. My brother Terry just did a little tour just the other day on Sunday, where they went to go on Cleopatra's Needle, and they're going to be doing more ancient Egyptian. So it's everywhere. You know what I mean? France, it's everywhere. It's worldwide. The major cities in the world are dealing with ancient Egyptian culture. So for you to now then tell me that I'm reaching and like we don't know that they're dealing with this stuff and they're portraying it and they're showing it like that. Come on, man. I think it's a bit I think it's a bit daft, you man, because especially when you're dealing with the American money. Do you know what I mean? That's straight Egyptian symbolism right there.
Can I can I comment?
Yeah. I was gonna reply, but that's all right.
No, reply. I don't want to stop you. No.
All right, okay. The reason I say it's reaching a bit is with these things, it's very easy to see patterns when they're not there. Many moons ago, I read a book called The Bible Codes. And with the Bible Codes, it basically was a computer program that somebody had created that allows you to see patterns in the Bible.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've read the book. It's a good book. Now, through the Bible codes, they were able to predict all sorts of things and confirm JFK, the World Trade Center. The list goes on. So reading something like the Bible code, knowing how easy it is to create patterns when there are none, and looking at how many different belief systems you've got around the world and different cults and so on. For me, from my standpoint, that's why I said personally, I feel like it was a bit of a reach.
Can I reply? Can I comment to that? Callum, can I comment?
Go ahead.
Yeah, but hello guys. Thanks for showing me around the other day. That was nice. But yeah, just to
Okay, yeah.
just to comment on what you've said. What I would say, well, I really actually enjoyed the presentation because I actually look into a lot of these kind of things. With the Freemasons and the Illuminati and the subliminal messaging. These things are new for people. To watch like Village and Christian and all these channels where they expose the industries. So to see these kind of things, it kind of made me, think about it even more because I do believe definitely that there's a lot of Egyptian or Kemetic symbolism in the entertainment industry, and this has been going on from time. I mean, if you look at the actual phallics, representation, for example, with I think there was a story, if you can correct me, I think Ra was it the guy that was chopped up into pieces, and then they couldn't find his she couldn't find his wife couldn't find his private parts, and then she started building pillars or something like that, if I'm mistaken. But this kind of symbolism, you can even see this now in the Washington. You see a massive pillar, shaped like the same monuments that were in Kemet or Egypt. So also you've got the irises eye as well. You see a lot of celebrities in Hollywood trying to have this makeup now where they, have the Egyptian, the eye of Iris. So yeah, there's a lot of symbolism from my perspective. I see it as a end time thing. I don't know if you see it as a positive thing, but me, I would see it personally as a negative thing. But yeah, I'm just trying to ask you actually, guys, do you think it's a positive thing or do you think it's a negative thing? What's the is it bad or good that this is happening?
I hear that.
Okay. All right. I'm glad, and I'm this is the question I was waiting for. I'm glad you're saying that, and I'm good. I'm happy with that point that you brought up. It's true. You've seen it in the music industry, just to actually to show my brother Edo, man. You've seen it in the music industry. The musicians are painting their eyes with the same eyes, like different musicians. Are you trying to tell me they all have the same idea that in each film they want to put this stuff on their eye?
No.
Do you know what I mean? So you can't really say that they're reaching. But dealing with Hilarious' question here, I would say I love this question because it's simple as this. Remember, you are people that understood these symbols. Yeah? You understood these symbols. You grew up understanding this is from your culture, your heritage. Now, something happened where we now, obviously, over 100 years, we've been enslaved and things got, our symbols and that got lost. We've forgotten our symbols. We got put on boats. Some of us got put on boats and sent to other lands. Some of us left and fled and migrated with different cultures and stuff. So a lot of the meanings of our symbols disappeared over time. Now, a lot of people nowadays don't understand the symbols, like, especially when you're dealing with ancient Kemet. Most of the symbols that's on the walls, no one don't understand them. But obviously, the people that came and overtook them, that overtook us and invaded us, they understand the symbols, and they understand the true meaning and the power behind the symbols. Remember, there's power in the symbols and the stuff. So now, if I'm an invader, yeah, and I'm the one that stopped you from understanding your symbols, I made sure that you forgot anything to do with your symbols, so you don't gain power, so that you become my slave. Yeah. The next best thing that I'm gonna do is once you forgot those symbols, I'm gonna portray it to you as something that's negative, so you don't have nothing to do with it. And where we've obviously been brought into this whole religion things anyway, and symbolism is seen as paganism, and that was even a bigger bonus for them, because now you got the backing from religion and God saying that this is paganism, this is not bad. So if God is saying that symbols and stuff is bad, don't worship it, it's paganism, and then you got these so-called people that invade you and took your symbols that understand the meaning, now showing you evil stuff and portraying it in evil lights by doing wicked things, and then having the eye there, you're gonna disassociate yourself with it. You're gonna want nothing to do with it. You're gonna think, nah, man, this is negative. This is some demonic stuff. This is the devil. Do you know what I mean? I've heard, do you know what people used to say when I have the eye? They used to say, "Oh, isn't that the devil's eye?" All this nonsense, the Illuminati eye. Look, it's the devil's eye. I'm thinking, how do they know this is the devil's eye? Has anybody seen the eyes of the devil? No. But what I'm saying is that because we've lost the information on our symbols, we don't understand. We've just taken what these people are presenting to us. So the Illuminati and these so-called people that are showing these symbols and stuff and doing bad things, yeah, we're now just taking their word for it and just saying, yeah, these symbols are bad. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? But we ain't seen the symbols do any harm. We've seen the person do the harm, but we ain't seen the symbols do harm. But yet we're going to say the symbols are evil. The confusion. So this is why now I have to come in, or the brothers, I advise us to go and check out these stories and check out the true meanings of the symbols and the true meanings of what they meant prior to them being invaded and taken over by our oppressors and stuff and given to us as different symbols. This is the main thing that we have to do, because a lot of our people are confused and they don't know what the symbols mean, and they just take in the word of the oppressors as fact and saying, okay, look, this is Illuminati symbols. Yeah, okay, this is Illuminati symbols. It's right. But it's not the case. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I think the task is get your symbols back, get your culture back. Do you know what I mean?
Can I like comment on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the answer as well. It made me understand a bit more like what your view is on that. But also as well, like I think from my perspective, the reason why I would kind of like say, I wouldn't want to associate myself with the all-seeing eye, or the pillars or the checkerboards, any of these masonry or Kemetic, and be more specific, symbolism. It's because from my stance, if I were to associate those things or to express those symbols, I'm either showing allegiance to the cause, or I'm showing that I support the organization. You could say then, well, this isn't okay. You could say then, well, this is what the Greeks and the Romans came in and misinterpreted. It's not actually what we stand for. But now this is the symbolism that's now been made mainstream, modern day era, to walk around with a permanent eye on your shirt. It's a bit sketchy, and I understand that maybe that's not what the meaning is in Kemet, but I believe that definitely there's a purpose for everything, and the fact that that has become the cornerstone for many of these secret organizations just indicates that there must be something big going on to have Kemet be such a big influence on the Illuminati, Three Masons, and all these different organizations. That's why me, as a Christian, would be opposed to this, because we always grew up watching these Illuminati exposed videos, looking at truth seeking, looking at all these things, these people at the end times, the celebrities going crazy, taking drugs, and the MI mind control, the whole lot of it. Yeah. Me personally, I don't want to associate myself with those things, because that what they stand for in the modern day era, and I don't want to run around like some devil worshiper doing. I'm not calling. I'm being honest with you. Like, that's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question here. Do you know a lot about ancient Kemetic culture or African culture?
African culture, yes, but Kemetic culture, very little. Basic level.
Okay, so you know very little about ancient Kemetic culture, yeah? That's one. Two, also, what would you say one of the greatest, one of the wonders of the world that the ancient Kemetics brought to the world?
The pyramids of Giza.
Okay. And do scientists in that know how they built them today?
Most of them are baffled, really.
Okay. So now to answer your question, yeah, for one, like I just answered you, you don't know too much about ancient Egyptian culture or ancient Kemetic culture. Also, another point as well, they built one of the greatest wonders of the world that even to today, scientists and these people still don't understand or still don't know how they were able to build these structures. Yeah. If you've now been invaded, remember I told you this is how you got. Remember this. Get this into your psyche. Your people that understood the symbols. Just imagine you was from Egypt. You understood the symbols. You understood the power of the symbols. Who knows the power that the symbols had? Yeah. Now you've been taken away, or you've been invaded, or you've been taken captive. Yeah. Now you've been taken to a place where over time you've forgotten those symbols. You've been teaching your kids didn't teach them, and over time have lost. But the oppressors and the ones that took you that are still in that land understand the meanings of the symbols. You see what I'm saying? Now you're seeing that the oppressors, the people that took over that land, you're seeing that now over years, they're what's the word? They now have power, and they are now controlling certain things. They're thriving in science, they're thriving in loads of different technologies, taking things out to the moon, taking spaceships out to the moon, all these different things. And as a backdrop, they're showing you that they're claiming to us that the ones that are controlling the world and have these powers are these Masonic Illuminati people, and they're using Kemetic symbols. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Say is because we've lost and we don't understand the power of the symbols. Yeah, they understand it. This is my point. They understand the powers of the symbols. They know what they took from you. That's why another big film that I would like to recommend people to go and watch is a film called National Treasure. It's Cage. Yeah, that's another Freemason film where they're trying to find some lost hidden treasure. He takes it upon himself because his granddad told him about some hidden treasure. Yeah, the more of the story, at the end of the film, when he went to the secret place, which was in Washington DC in America, when he found the treasure, you go find out what the treasure it was. Guess what the treasure was? You go and find out what the treasure was. I'm telling you, it's ancient Egyptian treasure. Do you know what I mean? It's all dealing with Egypt, all them symbols. So this is what I'm trying to say. They understand. They know the secrets of the symbols, and they know all our secrets. But where we don't know nothing because we've lost that knowledge, yeah. Because like you said, you're using your belief. You just said now, look, you're using your belief because your belief says this, it goes along with your belief, so it might be seen as something evil or the devil. So you're not even, you just said for yourself, you just said because of your belief it's evil, it might be the devil. But then you said, I asked you, have you studied the culture? You said no. Do people know how they built the pyramids? You said no. So you haven't studied the culture or anything. You haven't learned any symbols, but yet you're saying, because your belief says it's evil or comes to that, because of your belief, you're going to see it as something evil and something got to do with the last days. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how that kind of doesn't really make no sense? Wouldn't you rather find out the culture, where it came from? Yeah, go to the root, find out that, so that at least you have wisdom and knowledge of what it is, so that now when you come back now and people are showing you stuff, you can go, hold on a minute, no, that's not true. I know what that symbol means. I've seen what the people were using it for. It doesn't mean that. You're lying. Do you know what I mean? Instead of obviously jumping to these conclusions that it might be something evil.
All right.
Yeah, I want to ask a question, if that's all right.
Hold on 1 second. All right.
All right, okay.
Well, real quickly, shout outs as well to my Masonic brothers, man. Shout outs to my Masonic brothers. I don't like the way that you lot are getting a bad rap right about now. You know, brothers are talking about Freemasonry and how it's evil and stuff. So I need to get my Freemason brothers, please, brethren, talking to you guys, please come up on to Talk with the Titans, okay, and have your say. You know, defend yourself. You know, me, I'm a vanguard or defender for those who are, less fortunate enough to have a voice to be on this platform. So please, my brothers, I want you to come on and represent real quickly, okay? Real quickly. Also, we're going to have a show coming up. I believe it's next week, Thursday. I think it's going to be next week, Thursday. I'm going to organize it. We've got a couple of Masonic brothers, one from the USA and one from the UK coming on to represent about Freemasonry. So if you've got any questions to do with Freemasonry, Illuminati, signs and symbols, and all the other good stuff and conspiracies that are currently circulating amongst us, please, please, please bring it out for these guys. And I'm sure that they will do their best to actually answer those questions for you. All right, continue.
Yeah, if I can just say something.
Hold on, was it you or Stefan? Was it you that wanted to speak next, or was it Stefan?
I don't know if Stefan will let me. I'll speak.
Yeah, on you go. You go first, and I'll go after you.
Thank you. So about the Freemasons that are going to come on, yeah, I think it depends on what level. Obviously, we're going to benefit from them, but it depends on what level they have reached. Because I think the higher up you go, the more you become aware of certain things that they're trying to hide really deeply. Like, for example, if they actually do worship Satan, I think it's going to come, like, when you reach the top level, that's when you realize. And Gabs, yeah, I just want to know, for example, bring the genes here that you're related to ancient Kemet. I want to see the genes. Because the E1B1B1, yeah, haplotype doesn't belong to West Africa. Like, West Africans don't have that. So I want you to bring that evidence, because I was waiting for that. And also the culture and the language, but that's subjective, isn't it? I actually want the genes. That's the main thing I want from you. And about the Freemasons, I personally do believe it's satanic, because why else would they be secretive? You know, because people are not going to like it. So obviously you have to go underground. It's the same thing with the gays. Okay, nobody liked it at that time. So they were underground, right? Nobody's going to come out there and going to tell you what they are. It's because they know society won't like it. That's why the Masonic are secretive. They know that their belief system, people are not going to be in tune with that. People are going to be opposed to it. So obviously, I think it's without a doubt, shadow of a doubt, yeah, it's something satanic or something kind of corrupt, okay, that people are going to repulse from. People are going to want to fight or be against. That's why they're keeping it secretive. And that's why I think, Kalam, you said you want to keep your thing secretive as well, but it's up to you, but I think Ra is the devil. That's how some person, like Jedi said that, right? And I want you to bring Jedi on here, yeah? I want to hear more from that brother, Jedi. He actually brought some good things, and I want him to elaborate, because he's the one that opened up the whole debate on the Masonics. It was Jedi and his comments in the content of everything. So I want to see that brother come on, yeah, and I want him to defend himself.
Right,
and I want him, yeah, against the Masonics. I want the arguments. That's going to be a good argument. I think Kalam will agree with that.
All right, I agree. It'll be a real good argument. But today I'm going to put on my Masonic hat. Right about now, okay? Because I'm hearing that my brothers are getting a very, very, very bad rap.
I think you want to join in it.
Sorry?
I think you want to join the Masonics.
Anyway.
I think you fit in, like a hand and glove, in it. Hand and glove.
So, again, my brothers are getting a very bad rap. To keep up for them in their defense, please keep your mics muted, everybody. Every single religious organization that I'm particularly aware of in terms of the Abrahamic faiths, they all started as secret societies. Christianity started as a secret society, and so does Islam start as a secret society. Just because something is secretive doesn't mean that it's satanic. I think that is very much so a very fallacious argument to bring forward. Just because homosexuals know that they will be targeted by other people that have homophobic ideals and ideas, doesn't mean that they are in error for doing what they're doing, or they're satanic for doing what they're doing. I think that's very much so a backwards mentality. Me personally, I am not, a proposer or a promoter of homosexuality, but I still don't think that they are some type of satanic or evil people just because they are in fear of other people targeting them because of other people's backwards ideals. So that's what I was going to say. Gabs, go ahead, King.
Yo,
yeah.
what am I going to say?
And hold on. Let me put my Kemetic hat right now. Kemetic hat is coming on. Ra, devil, Auzubillah. Come on, man. Come on. Kemet don't have no idea what a devil is. They don't have no idea what a shaitan is. That's like me coming into Islam and telling you that, you know what, you worship Ekwensu. Ekwensu is the deity that you worship. You're like, huh? I've never heard of this, Igbo deity before in my whole entire life. So I don't think we should be superimposing other people's cultures and terminologies onto Kemetic philosophy at all. I don't think that fits at all, not one bit. But go ahead, Gabs.
Yo, bruv, I know it's Abu, boy. Oh, actually, I just looked in the chat. There's a guy called Michael Dan Sanya. He said, my blood group is E1B1A, and I'm from Nigeria. So that's for you, Abu. You might have to have a discussion with that guy, Michael Adencia, in the chat who put it up. But Abu, what was I going to say? You brought up this whole...
It must be
E1B1A,
mixed with Somalia or something.
The Jamaica and all that stuff. Hold down, bro. Yeah. Like I said, sorry, man. We got that work coming for you, man. We got that work. It's not even coming for you. We got the information that's coming for the people in there. It's not for you. It's actually it is for you, giving it to you to give you that medicine. You know what I mean? It's for the rest of the world that need the medicine and can gain knowledge and understanding. So we're gonna be putting together that little presentation anyway. So hold your socks, because I know your feet are moving fast. You're there running like Speedy Gonzalez. Hold your socks, yeah. Don't burn no holes in them. Yeah, we're gonna come with the information soon. Yeah, don't worry, brother. It's coming, Abu Talaj. Yeah, take time, brother. Breathe, relax, suck in that good air. Yeah, and we're gonna get the information to you. Don't worry.
Okay, all respect to you, man. I want to see that evidence, yeah, and I also want you to at least acknowledge the East Africans and Somalis and how that they actually have more of a say in this regard. Just admit it, okay? But I want to see that I want to see the genes, man. I want to see the E1B1B1 haplotype being predominant amongst West Africans. I really want to see that evidence, and I want to see the culture and the language, because I brought you that evidence, right? So I want you to bring the same evidence, and really, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, okay? And I want to see that. I want to see it, because obviously the people move around, right? I do admit certain people from East Africa did move to West Africa, yeah. But you can't superimpose that on all of Africa and say all of Africa is Kemet. You can't say that about the Zulu in South Africa that nobody even been there. You can't say that. Okay, I think some people, you might have some, that guy, yeah, he could have some East African genes in him. But you can't say that about every West African. You can't say that about all of Africa. All of Africa is not Kemet. That's just the facts. Just admit it, man. Is that, for example, yeah, do I take your culture, yeah, do I take your history and say that's all of Africa's history? Then what is the point of you? What's the point of your own history? If I say that belongs to all of Africa now, you see? So obviously, just give what is due to certain people, yeah, give it to them, and what's due to you, take it as well. I will never claim that Mali. I like Mali, seriously. Mali was the richest empire. Yeah? I really respect it, but I will never say that's my.
I can ask you a question. You just said, yeah. Can that brother find out, or did they have the East African gene? Yeah. Now, if someone scoops up the earth from East Africa, is it going to tell them what genes they are?
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not the land doesn't have genes. It's the people in that land who predominantly stay in that land.
So
they're the ones who have the genes.
Yeah,
okay, and I'm saying, so look up the haplogroups. Yeah,
that question that you said about East Africa, yeah, it doesn't make no sense to me. This is what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah, I respect that. I
don't understand what you mean.
It's the people.
Because the land you're talking about, because this is what it all boils down to. It's all boiling down to this so-called land of Punt that you're talking about. The land of Punt is not going to tell you what blood you are, what tribe you are, your DNA, nothing. The earth is just earth. You see what I'm saying? It's just earth, bro. People could have been traveling anywhere. So this is my point. We don't know if those people were specifically from that land. They could have come from anywhere, because no one can scoop up the land and say that they come from the land. It doesn't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So this is why I said to you, I don't understand the point of what you're trying to show me. I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Until you can dig up the earth, and the earth says to me, yeah, the person that came from here, lives here, is some Somalians, and they did this, then that's fine. I would agree with you. But if you're not going to bring up no earth, and the earth ain't going to tell me who the people that reside there, I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, mate, I agree. But I'm saying, look, haplogroups, how it works here, they look at, okay, which people have these genes here from certain areas, and the people who are in East Africa right now, and even Sudan and Northern Egypt, they're the ones who have the E1B1B1 haplogroup. It doesn't include the people in West Africa. You can look it up yourself, yeah, about how genetics works. I'm saying the people in Somalia, yeah, are in
Talha, I just want to actually understand your argument because I really haven't really understood your argument from beforehand. So let me just get this straight. Your argument is that the Egyptians have E1B1B haplogroup, and Somalians. Are you saying Somalians only, or I don't know? You let me know. Have this haplogroup, and it's only exclusive to Somalians. Is that what you're saying to me?
No, I'm not saying it's exclusive. Yeah, I'm not saying it's exclusive to Somalis. Yeah, there's other East Africans that have that as well, like the Beja and stuff. There are other, but East Africa. Like, I never heard of West Africans having that, unless they're obviously mixed with these Africans. Yeah, but I'm saying it's mostly East Africa that has that. And also, if you look at the culture specifically and the language, I say it's mostly Somalis.
Well, I just want to deal with one claim at a time to understand what exactly you're saying, because I don't want to get lost in your source. So you're saying to me that the East Africans, okay, in particular, have this E1B1B haplogroup, okay, and West Africans have what haplogroup? Are you familiar with? What haplogroup does the East Africans have?
Now, I can do a quick search right now, yeah. But when I was doing the initial research, I found out they don't even have this E1B1B one haplogroup. They're not part of it. It's mostly East Africa and Northern Africa, right? That have this. So I'm wondering, yeah, where is his connection? I want to see his proof. Let him bring his genes and how they're related to pharaohs and stuff.
I'm just trying to understand your claim. All right. So how do you come to the conclusion that the Egyptians monolithically had the E1B1B haplogroup?
Yeah, okay. I wasn't looking at the Egyptians. I was looking at the pharaohs. Okay, the pharaohs, they actually did DNA test on them, and they said that they do belong to the E1B1B haplogroup, and also the land of Punt, where they said is also the race Tarneja. That's in East Africa, in Somalia. So I want to know exactly where he fits in all this. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking him to bring the genes, bring the culture, bring the language, and let me hear his argument. I'm genuinely interested to see what he presents.
Abu Taha, just calm down for a hot second. All right. So now, could you provide the sources that you're actually getting this information from? So, which Egyptian pharaohs had this E1B1B haplogroup?
Okay, so you want me to do the quick research now?
I don't know. I'm assuming that you have this research already. That henceforth you're providing this argument.
Now, I already provided it to Gabs. I bought 20 pages, yeah, but then that page is Harrison asked for it. I also give it to you to look at. So I'm gonna quickly look at the DNA for the pharaohs. I'll bring it to you.
So do you know how many pharaohs had the E1B1B haplogroup?
They haven't tested all the pharaohs yet, but the ones they did test, they have they are part of the haplogroup.
They're part. Sorry, say again.
They haven't tested all the pharaohs yet, but the ones they did test there, they are part of the haplogroup. And even I want to see his presentation.
Wait. Before you keep talking, I want to get one point at a time.
On the specific pharaohs, their names.
So you said that these people have tested the haplogroup of the pharaohs. They haven't tested all of the pharaohs. So do you know how many pharaohs and what dynasty that they tested?
Like Ramses III, they tested it. They tested him. Pentawa, they tested him as well. Mm-hmm. They're still trying to do more research here, but the ones that they tested.
So you have two pharaohs during whichever dynasty has this so-called E1B1B haplogroup, okay? And have they tested the nobles and the common folk as to what haplogroups they have?
All I know is two, yeah, but I could get you the full list. If you want the full list, the full information, yeah, I'm happy to do a show with Gaz. When Gaz is presenting his information, yeah, I'll happily join in and question him, right? I want to see him present his evidence.
This is what I would like for you to do, okay? Is to put forward, whenever you have some time, is to put forward this particular study, okay? That, these pharaohs have the E1B1B haplogroup, okay? And so we can actually see exactly what you're talking about and as to why these is only predominantly in East Africa and West Africans don't have it, etc., etc., etc. I just want to get that so I could understand what you're talking about. Secondly, you talk about the Egyptians claim that they come from the land of Punt or Tarneja. Which one is it?
They called it land of Punt and they also called it Tarneja. It's the same.
Could you provide the evidence or the citation where the Egyptians monolithically stated that they come from Tarneja or the land of Punt?
Yeah, the land of Punt is the land of gods. They refer to themselves as gods, and Tar-Neja, the source of their race. That's what they identify that place as a source of their race. If you want me to give you the citation for that, the source for that, I'll get it for you in a second.
All right. So if you could do all of that, post it in the chat section, okay? And then we can actually have some type of conversation, because so far there's a lot of talking, and it doesn't make much sense in my eyes as of yet. So hopefully everybody else who's listening in could just get your 2 claims. So
okay, can I just cite some person? Can I just cite one person, yeah? A scholar, yeah, in this field.
No, what I want you to do is to post the information inside of the chat section or wherever you can, or just email it to us, okay? So we can see what you're talking about.
Kalam.
And we could present it for you. Okay, go ahead, King.
Yes, brother. Right, I posted up in the chat, I posted some linguistic evidence relating Wolof and Akan, and some other evidence relating Akan, and also some DNA evidence relating West Africans. So that's all in the chat with the sources and that. And the Wolof evidence is from Sheikh Ant Diop. The other evidence is from Masai Motep. So it's, yeah, good standard.
So my brother, okay, this is what we'll do. All this stuff could take place off air, okay? You can read exactly the 2 links that my brother Kofi has posted up, so you can review the information. I don't want you to do that now, because that's just not, the best time and place for it. At least have some time to actually digest it and actually scrutinize it. Also, you've made 2 claims that we're familiar with right now. The 2 claims is that the pharaohs, you named 2 pharaohs in particular, has this E1B1B haplogroup, and this haplogroup is predominant in East Africa. Cool. And that West Africa don't have this particular haplogroup. So therefore, that's the first claim. So let's just go out and actually do the research on that. Number 2 is that, the ancient Egyptians claim to come from Puntland or Tar-Necha. And this Puntland and Tar-Necha, I'm assuming you're stating it is Somalia, or you're stating where exactly is this Puntland or Tar-Necha?
It's in the Somali regions. So it's in Africa, in the Somali regions. Is it in the Somali region?
Is it in Djibouti, or is it just...
Well, Djibouti is Somali. Okay, so it's Djibouti, yeah, it's soft. The Somali people are in that country, is a majority. Somalia is Somali people there as well. In Ethiopia as well, the eastern part, Ogaden, that is Somali region. In Kenya, the northern part, that's Somali region. So I'm saying within that Somali space, okay, that was considered as Punt.
So you're saying,
and I can get you some archaeological evidence if you want.
So you're saying that only Somalia, the people of Somalia, the people who relate to ethnicity, yeah, is the Somalians are the Punt people. Is that what you're stating to me?
Yes. It's not something I'm claiming out of pride or anything. It's not like that, because Somalis, the majority of them are Muslim, right? And this is something that really they don't want to talk about, and something that is disliked. So for me to say this is actually not something that I want to say, but I'm saying it's the truth in it. Because when somebody comes and tries to take someone's history, someone has to defend it. Me, Somali people don't want me to talk about this, but I'm saying it. This is Somali history.
Okay, so you're saying that it's exclusively Somalians. Puntland is exclusively Somalians. And exclusively, and it's not inclusive of any other East African peoples. Is that
well, the genes here specifically, it can relate to other people in East Africa. But when you take into consideration the culture similarities, the linguistic similarities, I will say it's Somali people.
Okay, so that's what you.
And if he wants to say it's West African people, the opposite side of the continent here. If he wants to say that about like is Nigerian or whatever sect of Nigerian he is, yeah. If he wants to say that, yeah, that is related somehow to the pharaohs, yeah, he has to bring extraordinary evidence. Because I did an entire video with him, yeah, and I presented him 20 pages of evidence. That video obviously was taken down because I wanted it to be like a private thing. I know now it's live, yeah. I would rather talk about this when it's not live.
All right,
that's what I would prefer. I don't know why I'm talking about it now.
That's your claim. All right, so perfect. I've understood your particular claim. How well studied are you in this particular claim?
Well, I did my study on specifically when it comes to the Somali people and how they're related to the Egyptians. I did a lot of study on this, but I want to know exactly what he brings to the table. in terms of how he and his people specifically in Nigeria, how from that tribe is related to ancient Egypt. If he wants to bring the evidence, seriously, there will nobody be that will be happier to read it and to learn about it than me. But until now, yeah, I haven't heard it. All he said, yeah, is that somehow he's related to somebody from Sudan. That's all you said.
All right, cool, no problem.
Let me, because this guy is saying he and he say my name. He's basically talking about me, but this is basically what I said to the brother, and I don't understand why he's finding it so hard, because he's making it sound out here like just because someone lives in West Africa and another person lives in East Africa, that for some reason they just stay in that place and no one moving around. All I clearly said to him was that one of my great ancestors came over from Sudan and ancient Kemet. Mm-hmm. That's all I said to him. I gave him the name and I said it to him. It's there. He came over from West Africa, from ancient Kemet into West Africa. Simple. Now, for some reason, he is taking upon himself and he's getting all uptight, saying, "Nah, this can't be. You're the Pharaoh. You're related to the Pharaohs. Show me proof. Somali. It's just gone mad. Because now I live in South London. Yeah, I live in south of England. Someone that lives all the way in the north of England cannot be my cousin. Or I cannot travel to the north of England and meet someone. Yeah? So for some reason, he's in this mind frame that West Africans only stuck in West Africa. People from East Africa only stayed in East Africa. Nobody was traveling. Everyone just stayed on their own patch of land, which doesn't make no sense. And this argument that he's bringing here, it's not going to make any sense, because when we do bring the information, it's just going to look silly. It's just ridiculous. People in the chat room know that what this guy's saying doesn't even make no sense. Do you know what I mean? He's just going on about Somalia, E1, B1, all these different things. It doesn't make no sense to no one. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but information from Lower Egypt. That's Nubia. That's Lower Egypt. That's not Upper Egypt, is it?
So I don't know what he's trying to prove.
There's a difference between Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt.
So go ahead.
The ancestor was from Nubia, the Lower Egypt, right? I want to know how you're related to Upper Egypt and the pharaohs, right? That's Nubia. That's Lower Egypt. I give that to you if that's what you want to claim.
Why are you saying Lower Egypt and the pharaohs? Did I say anything to you about the pharaohs, bro? I said he came from that region and came over. Why are you mentioning pharaohs? I never mentioned pharaohs. I said he came from that region, man. And now you're adding pharaohs and stuff.
All right, hold on. Let me just get. Huh? Hold on. Keep your mic muted. Let me just understand what's going on here, so we can really put some time into it on another show to actually, get this all out. So, what are you saying exactly, Abu Talha? Just say that once more.
Yeah, I think we misunderstood each other. Yeah, I thought he was claiming the pharaohs, right? But he's okay now. He admitted, yeah, his ancestor was from Nubia, Lower Egypt. If he wants to admit that, yeah, if he wants to accept that, I still want to see some more proof for that, yeah. But fair enough. Right. That's not what I'm arguing about. I'm arguing about if he's trying to make a link here to Upper Egypt and the pharaohs. If he's trying to make that link, then I want to see the extraordinary proof that he has for that. But if he wants to claim Nubia, that's more likely, okay? And he wants to claim that, I'm not even gonna dispute that, right? But I actually want to see some proof for that as well, because all
I can tell already that certain individuals aren't really educated in this particular field already. By the confusion of Lower Egypt being next to Nubia or in Nubia and Upper Egypt is not in it. I can see already, I really do implore everybody to actually go away, do the relevant research, okay? Do the relevant research. I'm talking to, Gabs, I'm talking to Abu Talha, I'm talking to everybody who's actually listening to this particular conversation right here, all right? Because it's very frustrating at times. For me, myself, I listen to these types of stuff and I keep quiet because I have to ignore ignorance whenever I hear it, all right? And I hear these ignorant statements and I'm like, do you understand? I don't think you do. Please, everybody just go back and do your research, study history, study some paleontology, study some archaeology, study some linguistics, study a little bit, okay? Study some geography just to make sure you're stating the right things on particular shows like this, because you can go away and confuse a lot of people with these types of conversations. So I think, my brother, especially Abu Talha, I think you need to go forward and actually do some more research in this particular area, okay? Not just focus on Somalia and find bias confirmations to your own particular way of thinking and viewing, but actually go away and research what other Egyptologists are saying and other Afrocentric or chematologists have been saying on this particular field, okay? Because you'll find a whole list of things that actually, show the Central Africans and the West Africans have a very big part to play in the whole of Egypt itself, okay? You go ahead and look at the migration paths that they took during the drying up of the Saharan desert, and the migration paths that they took over from West Africa, from Morocco even, into Egypt. You could go ahead and look at the rock art, and you can actually see the same art and the migration patterns that they took also. You can do this with zoology and see the migration patterns of animals themselves. There's so much to actually look into this particular area. I think it's, this just sounds like an ego contest, to be honest with you. It really does. Somalia is more Egyptian than West Africa or Central Africa or North Africa and so forth. I think it's a very ignorant statement in itself. And it's a very ignorant statement to think that ancient Egypt or Egypt was a monolithic society that only had one particular ethnic group that was in that particular vicinity. But, anybody who studied a little bit of Egyptology will know that ancient Egypt was a melting pot, and you have to actually focusing at particular time frames, okay, particular chronology. At what time are we discussing here? Okay, what time was the Somalians, even though Somalians wasn't actually an ethnic group or even a country or nation during that time period? So using anachronisms to actually discuss this particular field itself. So it's like, I can really see it's going to be a waste of time. But I really want us to actually just be clued up before we start making these statements. Our brother Kofi has actually dropped a lot of links in the back chat section, okay? Before we actually even discuss this, I think everybody should go ahead, read that information, and then come in, not next week, not 2 weeks from now, give it some time, digest that information, make some notes, yeah, critique the information, and then come forward, because it's not going to be that. Trust me, it's really not going to be that. But anyways, let's continue. I want to go over to Stefan, and I know you had a question, so please, Stefan, ask your question. Okay, you're not answering, you're asking a question. Let's move swiftly on. Kofi, my brother, could you just explain to everybody what you've actually posted in the back chat section? I'm actually going to try to post it inside the description box for anybody else who wants to learn more about this particular topic.
Yeah, one of the links I posted was the linguistic connection. So that was Wolof, and it's Sheikh Anta Diop who was showing you the demonstration. So you've got the Medu Neter on one side, and you've got Wolof on the other side, and there's a word comparison and the meanings and so forth. And then the other one was DNA, and Ramses' DNA, and apparently it's not EB1B, it's EB1A. And then there was a breakdown of the different connections to the different peoples, so say like West Africa, Central, the Han, and so forth. And there was a breakdown, and West Africa was pretty high in there. So there's a lot of evidence there, totally like this guy is not making no sense to what this guy is saying. Like, so he needs to really come with some evidence. But I don't believe anyone's trying to claim anything but this guy talking. So yeah, that's all I've got to say really.
All right. So yeah, that's another thing as well. The whole study of haplogroups and so forth is a very, very big subject. Obviously, those people who know about haplogroups E and J and so forth, and which particular areas that they relate to, it's a very big topic. I wish we had my geneticist, my biologist brother from Team Osiris on the horizon. Shouts to my brother Ngozi. If I had my brother Ngozi on here, fire. I think we need to get my brother on so you can check out the type of information. That brother spits off these haplogroups like it's nothing, okay? So for everybody else who want to do like a cursory reading on haplogroups, and rich region have a rich density of certain haplogroups, please do an encyclopedia search, whether it is the British, what's it called now? Britannica Encyclopedia, or for those of us who are lazy enough, which is the easiest thing to do, just go on to Wikipedia, type up some haplogroup, and then get yourself like informed on what a haplogroup is and how we're able to actually gauge this information. So anyways, let me open up again. So who else is ready to speak? Let's see. Nobody? All right. So we've reached the end of the show yet? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Abu Talha, go ahead.
I just want to say, just to respond, that everybody from Africa was a pharaoh. That doesn't make sense, because the pharaohs, the way you became a pharaoh was because your dad, he gave birth to you, right? That's how you become a pharaoh.
Can I just stop you there? Because it seems as though, you're starting off with a straw man. I don't know who here has made the claim that everybody was a pharaoh. So I want to know exactly who made that claim and what are you responding to exactly?
Now, it just seemed, from what I was hearing, from the Kemetic community, was that everybody, all of Africa was pharaohs. Everybody was part of that thing. To me, that doesn't make sense.
From the Kemetic community, could you just state one person that stated that?
Now, just what I got from speaking to certain people, like, I don't want to mention names, but they know who they are. From speaking to them generally, and they kept saying Africa, like all of Africa was part of that. There was people ruling, certain people, certain ethnicity was ruling, right? And other people obviously were doing other things. But I'm just saying, if you're claiming to be the ones that were ruling, you have to present the evidence for that. That's what I'm saying. I'm ready to present the evidence that, like I did with Gabs. If he wants to present a counter evidence, I'm just waiting to hear it.
So what if nobody here is making the claim that they were ruling? What then?
Okay, but I made a claim though. So if somebody wants to counter that claim, then obviously they're free to do so. But I already made that claim, to be honest.
You made the claim of what, sorry?
The Somali people were ruling because that was the land of Punt, that was the source of their race. And I can bring you evidences where the pharaoh, one of the mothers of the pharaohs came from Punt specifically. And I have the evidence if you want me to bring it.
So now you're stating that the Somalians, in the guise of Punt, was ruling in ancient Egypt. Was they ruling one dynasty, or was they ruling throughout the whole dynasties of ancient Egypt?
Because how it happens is it was because of birth, right? That's how people become pharaohs. So it's gonna stay within that ethnicity until obviously the Nubians invaded. So if he wants to, guys wants to say, "Oh, we invaded, we took over," fair enough. But I'm saying we have to present evidence in it. I'm saying originally it was the Somalis ethnicity, and if you want to, they don't have the complete DNA for all the pharaohs. But the ones they do have is the E1B1B haplotype, which is not West Africa.
Are you stating to me from the very first dynasty of ancient Egypt, okay, that is recorded? So, for example, Narmer or Menes, would you say that he was Somalian? Is that what you're saying? He came from the land?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your information to back that particular claim up?
Yeah, okay. I have a lot of information to present. Okay, if you want me to go through it, I'll go through it right now.
I'm just inquiring. So you actually have information that Narmer was from the land of Punt?
Yeah, for example, if you read the book here, In Short History of the Egyptian People by E.A. Wallace Budge, Budge stated that Egyptian tradition of the dynastic period held that the aboriginal home of the Egyptians was Punt. And if you want me to go into Punt and exactly where the location is here, is in the Somali region.
So could you bring up any type of citations where the Egyptians are actually stating that?
Okay, so let me go through the entire evidence. The 20 pages here that I went through previously with Gabs.
I'm just stating that, you're stating that Narmer, okay, was from the land of Punt, okay? I want you just to simply, because since you're making that claim, could you provide any evidence to support it? That's all.
To support what? The Somalis were the ruling.
Narmer was from the land of Punt.
Narmer? Okay, 1 second.
Okay. And whilst you're doing that, let's move on swiftly. So, anybody else who would like to actually come on and discuss anything, you don't actually have to be discussing this particular topic.
Yeah, I'll just jump. Is it all right if I jump on?
Can I say something?
Go ahead, King.
Right, so I was just going to ask, with regards to the colors, especially red, blue, and green, I believe it was, with relationship to Hollywood and how these colors are being used in mainstream entertainment, how does that link up with Egypt.
Could you repeat the question once again?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, okay. Can hear you, Gabs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard your question. And this is have you studied ancient Kemetic culture?
No, it's not my thing.
Okay. One thing I will do, I'd recommend you, to go and study and look up ancient Egyptian culture, especially when it comes to dealing with the art and the colors. Because remember, people don't really notice, but when it comes to decorating, remember, they took pride in the whole art and colors, and each colors had a symbolic meaning. Do you see what I'm saying? So with regards to what I was saying about the colors, especially regarding the eyes, I just showed you. If you look up the Wajet, which is the eye of Heru, you will see that in ancient Egyptian and most of the artifacts is depicted as blue. That's the color that's associated with the Wajet. I even showed it in the presentation. I even have it on my hat. It's blue. Now the eye of Ra is depicted as red because it's the sun representing the heat. Yeah, that's red. Yeah. Now, and in the green aspect, what we're talking about is dealing with Asar, which I showed again in the presentation. It represent Asar, it represent Jehuti, it represent Bes, any of those deities that dealing with green. Yeah. So all I'm just showing is that through now Hollywood and these film productions, which is dealing with stories versus where there's adversaries versus good versus bad, is coming from one of the oldest stories of the contention of Heru and Set and Ra and all those stories. These are the stories that they had in ancient Kemet. Remember, these are stories. Like what I read in the presentation, that guy BT that found the papyrus, it was stories. There were stories and love poems that was found. Some of them was crushed and ruined, and some of them they kept. So that's why I said it would be a good thing to probably look up just the BT library in Dublin to check out the stories there. Because once you start getting into the stories and the culture and understanding the colors, then you can see where Hollywood, the films, and Western civilization has now attributed these colors and these stories into their films and their everyday life, politics, everything. It's all based on ancient Kemet. You see what I'm saying? That's all, brother.
All right. Thank you. Is there any further questions? I'm trying to get to my bed, so boy, you don't got no further questions. Just me. I wanna go to sleep. So you better hurry up. What's good, family?
I got a question for Abu.
Go ahead, King.
Does he have any connections that he can show us, like linguistic connections, that's still there today?
I have loads, but like, do you have time for it? I can go through it. Like, for example, Tufi in Somalia means it's the same as the ancient Egyptian, and I have the full list. If you want to go through it. I'm up right now.
Yeah, if you could just post something in the chat, like, because we need more than a few loan words, or
No, it's more than a few loan words. Trust me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just post it in the chat, innit?
I'll post in the chat. For example, yeah, I can even say it now. Netta, that's the time being. Hippo, that means gift. Tuf, I already mentioned, is spit, is the same as the ancient Egyptian. Habi means Nile. Habi in Somalia as well, and Abi and Wabi. It means source of water to drink or give him a drink, a river. Kab is the same. It means shoe in Somali. Birq means lightning. Qabab is the same. I'm using the ancient Egyptian, side by side with the Somali. Aya, Daya means moon. Dab means fire. Anka, that's what they say in ancient Egypt. Aniga means eye. Suasu and Usi is high. There's so much. I'm gonna post it in the comment section.
So now all you need to do is review
You see it to
language.
the right.
So now all you need to do is review a language like Wolof, and then you'll see connections even from the Somali then.
Yeah, I mean, I want Gabs here to make a video in it and present the full evidence. And I'm going to sit there, even if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, yeah. I'm going to listen and take it all in. But I want West Africa to present the
It's
evidence.
all in the
like,
chat, bro. You can just review it for yourself. Like,
Listen,
Sheikh
this
Anta
guy,
Diop's
I
like
don't
a
know why
serious
he's on my
scholar, man.
I don't know why he's on my back. Man said he wants Gabs to present. Why do you, bro? Don't worry, bro. I'll think of something to do because for some reason, yeah, you want me to present this information for you. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't know why you're upset. Even if there is a connection between West Africa and East Africa, I don't know why that even upsets you. I don't even know why it's an issue. I don't even know why we're even debating this. It's just crazy. Like it's not gonna help us get anywhere. Do you know what I mean? If you find out that there is a connection between people that live in West Africa and people that live in East Africa, I don't understand what the problem is. I just don't get it. Like, what's your point? If you find out, yes, that they were connected, then what are you gonna say afterwards? What are you gonna say afterwards? Okay,
I have nothing against it. Don't worry, I don't have nothing against it. I'm just intellectually curious, innit? I want to know, like, where's the evidence and all that. That's all I want. And I think you're a good speaker. That's the only reason I'm saying.
You're not curious, because if you was curious, you would have spent the time to go and do the research without coming on the show telling me that you want me to do a lecture and me bring it, me. Why don't you go and do the research?
If you don't want to do it yet, then I want to see Clam do it as well. It's not just on you, on your shoulder.
Why don't you go listening? Why don't you go and do the research, bro? You're so curious and interested. Why don't you go and do the research?
Now the history is long, innit? I think you know more about your own culture. You know more about your own people than even if I look into it. Yeah, there might be something I'm gonna miss.
I'll go and make sure I go and do the research instead of doing things. So what you could do, like the brother posted a load of stuff, and like the brother Kalam said, you can go and do the research, bro. Because you said you like to do research. You've done research. You dug up ancient Egyptian stuff, dug up over stuff. So go and do the research. Once you've done the research, then you can come back and see what you found. Because I can present something.
I really couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. That's why I couldn't find the link. So I'm thinking you have that culture, you have that connections, right?
So hold on. You do the research, bro. Hold on.
I did it, but it was on a superficial level. Like, I'm just looking for the genes in it, and I couldn't find the genes, and then I stopped.
No, what? Wait. Stop there. Did you do the research?
Yes, and I started with the most important. I look for the genes. Do you have the same genes that we have in the evidence?
No. This is what I'm saying. Why are you worried about genes? Genes is what we wear on our legs.
To me, that's the most important. That's like that's the foundation, right?
All I'm saying to you, is did you do the research?
Because language and culture that moves around, but genes is like something that's solid, that's gonna remain, and that's what I was looking at in the beginning. Do you have the genes?
You're picking and choosing. You're saying genes, and forget language and culture. I don't understand that. Did you do the research, bro?
The language and culture is add to it. It's like a secondary to the genes. The genes is like the primary thing.
Did you do?
And then the language and the culture adds to that. It adds strength to that.
You research.
How I started with my one, when I was presenting my evidence, I started with the genes. And then I added the language and the culture and the historical artifacts and all that. That's like secondary to my arguments. That was building up to it.
Abu, all I'm asking is, did you do any research, bro?
Yeah, I looked for the genes in West Africa, but then I couldn't find it that you were part of the same Haplogroup group.
Because you looked one place or two places to find you. You typed in West African genes on Google. You couldn't find it, you stopped. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I was discouraged. I'm just being honest with you. So that's
okay, so you went on Google, you typed in Nigerian genes in ancient Egypt, and because you couldn't find nothing, you stopped. Bro, come on. If that's how you do research, then there's no point in us having this discussion.
Not Nigeria. I looked for West African.
I suggest that you go back and go and do some thorough research, like the brother Kalam said, like the other brother just said as well. He posted something.
I would try, but I would like, because you guys are really into Kemet, yeah? You and Kalam are both into it. I'm asking for you to present some evidence. You always make.
Ask you a question, bro.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna mute my mic. Go on, Abu. Keep chatting.
Do you are you trying to say one haplogroup ruled throughout the whole period?
Yeah, because look, it was like how kingdoms work. Yeah.
Are you trying to say one haplogroup ruled throughout the whole period?
No, I won't say that throughout the whole period because there was an invasion about the.
Then it's kind of like a mute point because we know it changed on various periods.
It was one haplogroup. It was one people that started this whole thing. And even afterwards, they kicked out the Nubians.
No one's like saying we started, anyone started. No one's, you're the one coming with that kind of talk, bro.
Yeah, but I just want to see some evidence, right? Because okay,
what?
I think Gabs, he said he's not even part. He said he just accepted the Nubian part. But even that, I want to see some
So
evidence.
let's just say
I'm just interested. I'm intellectually curious. That's all I am.
Yeah,
I
but
want to see the. Because
why
look,
are you trying to put an argument where there is none?
I don't want an argument. Trust me, I'm the one
No,
who
but I'm
wants to.
saying no one's trying to say that. Says, for instance, Somali people was not at the start, but you're
Yeah, but-
like acting like that one haplogroup ruled throughout the whole period.
Yeah,
That
but
don't
there was
make no
invasions.
sense.
I'm saying they were the rightful rulers. But if you want to, then the Nubians invaded, right? But all I want is
How can you say that the Tutsi was up there for a start?
Now you have to present some evidence, man. For example, look, you always make these Titan TV videos, right? So what I want here is just something for the people that are curious about where these West Africans and where some people fit into this. Some people are curious naturally. So make some video to clarify.
So
present the evidence. Present the evidence. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with presenting the evidence?
If you're curious, have you looked in the chat yet to review the evidence that I've put in there?
Look, the chat. I'm talking here, right? So I can't go to the chat as well.
You kind of should cease talking about it until you kind of review the evidence, because you kind of like
just do it in video. I prefer video format. If you do it in a video format and you present the full evidence, there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Even if you come on the show, and you present the evidence with Gabs, with Kalam, and all three of you present the evidence, that is something that I think will benefit me. It will benefit the other people as well who are watching this. Because all I want right now, is just some evidence. That's all I want. Okay, especially with the G's being the most important part.
If you just said that, you're only asking for evidence, but it's there in the chat, bro.
Okay, now let's talk about something else. Like, what else? You were talking about something else before, but I don't want to continue to talk about this, because Gabs is not even speaking.
Bro, why are you, bro? Why are you on me so much? I don't understand this, brother. Abu, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, I asked you a simple question. Have you done the research on this whole thing to do with West African chemicals?
Gabs, if you remember our last conversation, you said you're going to present evidence. That's why I'm talking about.
Answer my question. Have you done any research on this topic?
Yeah, I did. I did a ton of research for the Somalis, and I presented the evidence, and then you said
you were going to refute. All right. So my question was, did you research Egypt? So the answer is no.
Basically, I looked for the genes. Now, you don't have the genes, so why should I do some more research on that?
The answer is no. Yeah, the answer is no. You haven't done no research. All you did was type in West African genes in West, and that's it. That's all you typed in Google search. And because you didn't see nothing, you just basically said yes, they weren't there.
But then you promised that you're going to present evidence. You promised me. That's what I'm excited. I'm waiting for you.
Bro, there's evidence right there right now. There's DNA evidence.
Chill and wait, bro.
Can we get back to the symbology?
Wait, you guys, let him speak.
Yeah,
let
this
Gab
guy
speak.
sabotaged the joint, man.
Huh?
Let Gab speak.
What I'm trying to say, Abu, like I said, is even coming to the debate, because it wasn't a debate in the first place. The brothers presented some information that you can go and check out. I suggested to you as well that you do some more research. The brother Kalam suggested that you do more research. We already said
I will do more research.
Before you come on.
I think it would be beneficial if you presented it. That's what I'm saying. If you presented it to everybody.
Let me finish, because I don't know what Red Bull you've been drinking. But what's it? You're gonna do the research, find out research. I already stated, brother Kalam, we are going to be bringing out some information, because now we've put the Islam and religious stuff away, down to the side for a minute. We're going to start presenting more African culture history. So in time, the topic will arise. So all we can say to you is just hold your horses, slow down, wait. The stuff will come to you, bro. But in the meantime, all we're saying to you is do some more research as well.
I will.
Don't worry. That's all I'm saying.
And this is a conversation I want. I want this conversation to happen about talking about the history, talking about the genes. I want that conversation more than instead of talking about the religious side every single time. It just keeps regurgitating the same thing, talking about religion, and it ends in nothing. It never ends in no progress. So talk about the culture, talk about the history. I'm interested in that. So if you present it, I'm gonna listen, and then I'll present my bit, and then you can listen to that. I think that's how it's gonna work, and that's how it's much more beneficial. And for example, I bet you never heard about it.
It's not beneficial to present misinformation, bro. So if you aren't studied, you should be presenting nothing, bro.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You would present side. I don't understand. You haven't researched that, but you want to present something that we can't.
For example,
You know what I mean?
Gabs,
You're
when I
gonna show
presented
us-
my evidence to you, I'm
present
sure
something
you
that's printed of Google, and you're gonna show. But it's fine if that's how you want to present it. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, yeah, it's
I
not.
want,
We're
I
not
want you to
having
present it.
debate.
I want you to present it. And I want to hear
This is
from
what I'm
you,
saying.
from your mouth. Because when I presented it, yeah, I'm pretty sure you benefited from it. So that's why I want to see the other from your perspective.
I didn't
I want to hear
benefit
from your perspective. I don't
I
want
really
my bias to fall on you. That's why. I don't want my
Some of
bias
the
to
stuff
fall
in-
on whatever evidence that I search up.
Huh? Some
I don't want my
you said
personal
something all over
bias
the
here
place,
to
bruv.
fall.
You had all these papers, yeah. Some of the things I couldn't even read. I didn't have time. You even give me a sheet to take home and
Yeah,
read.
you should have watched the video.
What I'm
I
trying to
present-
say is, that's fine. At the end of the day, that's fine, bro. All I'm trying to say is, we are going to deal with the information that you want, yeah, that you need it to come from our mouths specifically. We're going to
Yeah, I
deal with
want
that
to hear from
information.
you. Yeah.
We're going to deal with that information. All we're saying is, in the meantime, do some research as well.
Don't worry, I do research on the side there, but obviously I want to hear from you. I want to hear from Kalam. Obviously, if Kofi wants to join in as well, I want to hear from him as well.
Abu, the chat wants you to go review the info and be quiet.
Okay, but I want you to say it. I want you to make a video and present this information, right? I'll come on again and I'll present my information. That's all I'm saying. So don't refer me to a chat. I'm not going to look through all the messages, all the trolling and all that and find that one little source of information.
I'm not talking about
that's
the chat.
not what I'm going to do. I want to hear it in a concise way. Okay, just give, when I'm speaking, right, just wait. I'm going to wait for you as well to speak. But I'm just saying, you present all the information in a concise way that somebody can